Ma'am, what is the difference between diffusion and osmosis?
Okay, okay. So others are not having this question.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Everyone, then take down this one. Okay, what is the difference between osmosis and diffusion? That's important question. Okay, so now that way 13 questions we have got, and we have completed with the diffusion, we have completed with the osmosis. Now today we'll take up quickly the cytosis. So what you do, put today's date in your lecture notebook and write down cytosis. Okay, and I hope everyone understood what is endosmosis, what is exosmosis, when the endosmosis will occur, when the exosmosis will occur. Is it very clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
out now, so then you can just switch on your mic and you can talk to me. Okay, and if it is very clear and all the three types of solution, you know that osmosis, endosmosis, osmosis will depend upon the concentration gradient. Remember, what is this term concentration gradient? I'm using it for the first time. You can note down the difference in the concentration is known as concentration gradient. Gradient का मतलब है difference. Okay, so we'll say ionic gradient, pressure gradient. Okay, so what is the meaning of gradient, children? What is the meaning of gradient?
Difference.
Difference.
Difference. तो अगर हमने बोला concentration gradient मतलब what is the meaning of that?
Difference
Difference in
between
concentration.
concentration.
हाँ, concentration. Is it clear? So ionic concentration. We were talking about the solutions, the three different types. So you find that osmosis will take place only when there is a difference in the concentration. अगर दोनों तरफ अंदर सेल के अंदर सेल के बाहर concentration same है, so then there will be no movement of the water molecules. Is it clear to you all? Is it correct what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Concentration है means if there is any concentration gradient, either it is
Yes, ma'am.
inside both, both. So then there will be osmosis. It may be endosmosis or it may be
Exosmosis.
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 So now today we'll quickly start with the cytosis. So write down it is the movement of the solid or liquid. Acha, I should share na. I'll write because I'm sharing my screen. It is the movement of the solid or the liquid molecule.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
मैम आई थिंक मैम आप स्क्रीन बदल करके मैम अपने नोट पैड पर लिख लीजिए कि मैम अगर मान लीजिए किसी का नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम हो तो
What?
मैम प्लीज राइट इट ऑन योर नोटपैड आफ्टर शेयरिंग स्क्रीन
Right. I am doing that only. Okay, could you get my screen?
नो मैम
No.
Ma'am, your screen not presented yet.
No, ma'am. I'm not yet.
Very soon you'll get it. Okay. It takes little time. So cytosis. All have written. It is the movement of the solid. Did you get it, my screen?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Not yet. Okay.
मैम यू हैव नॉट प्रेजेंटेड यू हैव नॉट
I have
प्रेजेंटेड
presented. Yeah. I have presented. Here it's showing that it is presented.
No, ma'am, but
It will take little time, children. Last class also it was like that only. It took little time. So I hope you are writing what I am dictating. It is the movement of the solid or liquid molecules through the cell membrane by its invagination. By its invagination. So spelling you can write down invagination. INVAGINATION. Invagination.
Ma'am, your screen is visible now.
Ma'am, the screen is visible now.
Right. Okay. It takes time. That only
Test
see.
or not.
Network issue. It's not fast, na? That's why. Okay, so how many students have understood? Now I'll show you the picture also, but first try to understand. Now cell membrane, you know, it is made up of the lipids and proteins and three are there, children. So you find what will happen there. The membrane, now suppose outside some solid particle is there. Okay, that solid particle will come near the cell membrane. So when it will come in contact with the cell membrane will make a cup-like structure. वो अंदर की तरफ इन्वेजिनेशन इज दैट ओनली चिल्ड्रन, मतलब वो डिप्रेस हो जाएगा, डिप्रेशन जैसा बन जाएगा. It will make a cup-like structure. Okay, in that solid particle will move and then it will close and it will get detached from the cell membrane. So you find the food vacuole will be formed. What will be formed?
Food vacuum.
What will be formed?
Food vacuum.
Food vacuole will be formed. So this process takes place, children, because of the flexibility. So why does it occur? So it occurs due to the flexibility of cell membrane. Is it very clear why this process is possible? This property of the plasma membrane is helping in cytosis. This property, property of the plasma membrane or the cell membrane is helping in cytosis. Speak up, children. Not understood? Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Which property makes this process possible? I have written just now. Due to the
Flexibility.
Flexibility.
हाँ, because the cell membrane is flexible. तो कुछ चीज उसके पास में आएगी तो वो क्या होगा? इन्वेजिनेट कप जैसा स्ट्रक्चर बन जाएगा. Is it clear? And that cup shaped structure में क्या होगा? That solid particle will move, then it will close and will get detached from the plasma membrane. So a vacuole will be formed. Is it clear? So now we find it is of two types. Is it clear? It is of two types. One we call it as endocytosis. Endocytosis. Visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Endocytosis. Now, endo means what?
Inside.
Inside.
Okay. So now in the endocytosis, what will happen? The solid or the liquid molecules will move inside the cell. Okay. So write down the movement of solid or liquid molecules inside the cell. Is it very clear what is endocytosis? That the transport will be inside. बाहर से अंदर जाएगा कोई भी solid or liquid molecule. Okay, and it will be through the or by the invagination of the
Cell membrane.
Cell membrane.
Is it clear? By the invagination of the cell membrane. And the second one is what? Exocytosis.
Exo.
Okay, keep numbering, children, so it becomes easy. You will remember it better when you number the things, isn't it? The next is exocytosis. What will happen in exocytosis, children?
Ma'am, the movement of solid or
Remember
liquid
movement of
molecules
solid or
outside.
liquid molecules outside the cell.
the cell. Outside the
Out.
cell.
Right. Okay. So you can write down. It is what? Movement of solid or liquid molecules out of the cell. Is it clear? So the molecules will move out of the cell. So remember always here what is happening. The molecules are not moving directly. They will be they'll be enclosed inside a vacuole. Okay, and that we call it as, now see children, in the amoeba, you all have studied how the nutrition takes place in amoeba. Anyone
Yes,
know what
ma'am.
is the process? What is the
Yes,
process?
ma'am.
What is the
Ma'am,
process?
pseudopodia, it taps its food.
Right, it takes out, yeah, it takes out the pseudopodia, then means it encircles the food particle, then it will move inside. So that is children endocytosis. What is that process? What is that process?
Endocytosis.
Endocytosis.
एंडोसाइटोसिस, क्योंकि वो फूड पार्टिकल अंदर जा रहा है अमीबा के, तो इट इज एंडोसाइटोसिस. नाउ आई विल टेल यू चिल्ड्रन, एंडोसाइटोसिस further divided into two types. Okay, what are they? Now you have written in the beginning only, I am telling that solid and liquid molecules will move. The particle can be the solid or it can be a liquid food. Is it clear? Solid food particle or a liquid food particle. So when the solid food particle enters, children, so we call it as phagocytosis. What we call it, children?
Phagocytosis.
Phagocytosis. Okay, so this is the process of the nutrition in the case of amoeba. Okay, we call it as phagocytosis. So now the simple, remember, cell eating. What is it called?
Cell eating.
Okay, तो हम भी खाते हैं, खाना एक है और
Ma'am.
पीना एक है.
Ma'am, it is the process of digestion in cells, ma'am.
Digestion is a different thing. Okay, but first it will engulf. First it will go inside. So that process of taking in is the phagocytosis. Further then it will be digested. Is it clear? So phagocytosis, the next one you write down, pinocytosis. Pinocytosis. So what it will be called? Cell
Drinking.
drinking. Very good. Cell drinking. Is it very clear? So in this, in pinocytosis, which food molecule will go inside?
Water.
Yeah,
Liquid molecule.
any liquid food, okay, will be going inside by the pinocytosis. Okay, and phagocytosis will be the cell eating, means solid food will enter the cell. Okay, so by forming, remember the food vacuole which encloses inside it the solid particle, solid food, we call it as phagosome. What is it called?
Phagosome.
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 By forming. Okay, and the other one by forming. Can anyone tell what it will be now? Forming
Pinosomes.
Spinosome.
pinosome. We call it as pinosome. Is it clear? तो जो वैक्यूल बनेगा उसको अपन पिनोसाइटोसिस के केस, what you'll call it? Pinocytosis phase. Food
Pinosome.
Pinosome.
and the food vacuole, which is enclosing inside it the solid food, and it is formed as a result of phagocytosis. What it will be called?
Phagosomes.
Phagosome.
Phagosome.
Okay, so now I'll tell you. Can you see my screen, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just showing you one figure and you can draw it also. Let me see it comes properly or not. Network now, if it's slow, it takes away lots of time. So how many students have understood what is cytosis? What is cytosis?
The movement
Solid
of
or
the solid
liquid
or liquid molecules to the cell
cell
membrane by
membrane
its
One at a time, children.
Ma'am, may I?
Okay, start. अच्छा this figure
It is the
was
movement.
हाँ
It is the movement of solid or liquid molecules to the cell membrane of its investigation.
by its invagination. Okay. Now could you see this figure, children? It's very small, but could you see?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you see this is the plasma membrane. फिर अगर कोई लिक्विड या सॉलिड उसके पास आता है तो देखो ये ऐसा डिप्रेशन जैसा बन जाएगा. Okay, this cup shape structure. Now the food particle will move inside. Okay, and then ये पूरा close होके अंदर पहुंच जाएगा and it is enclosed inside the vacuole. Okay, so either it will be a pinosome or it will be a phagosome. Now this is the other process which is called as the exocytosis, children. अब exo मतलब क्या बोला था हमने? What did I tell you all?
Outside.
Movement of solid
Moving out.
or liquid molecule out of the cell.
Out of the cell, isn't it? So what will happen? See, inside the cell many processes are going on. सारी metabolic processes cell के अंदर चल रहे. Some waste will be produced. So what will happen? That waste will be again enclosed inside the vacuole, and you call it as a residual body. What you call it, children? Residual body. I'll write it just now on the notepad. Wait. So try to see the figure. Now this residual body, that is the vacuole containing the waste, will move near the membrane. And once it reaches the membrane, it touches the membrane, it will burst open. It will
Burst.
burst. Okay, and when it will burst, so whatever waste is present inside that residual body, it will be removed out of the cell. Is it very clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I will
Yes,
send
ma'am.
you the children. Okay, I'll be sending the good figures of this endocytosis, exocytosis also. Is it very clear to you all what is the process called?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now you can see the next I'm telling you, that is exocytosis. So all have written exocytosis and endocytosis types you have understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Example you can write down now. In amoeba, na? My screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
In amoeba, the nutrition occurs by which process?
Endocytosis.
Endocytosis.
So what is that specific endocytosis called?
Phagocytosis.
Phagocytosis. Why you are calling phagocytosis, children?
Because
Uh,
Ma'am, because it Ma'am, cell eating by formation of phagosome. Ma'am, it eats
Ah,
cell.
what in this? The solid food is going inside the amoeba. Okay, the cell is eating. So you call it as phagocytosis. Is it very clear? And remember children, phage ka matlab, the phago word is coming from the phage. Is it clear? The word is the phage. You can write down the meaning Phage. Phage means to eat.
Eating.
Eating. Is it clear? Phage means to eat. So that's why this word is coming phagocytosis. Is it clear? So you know our
Yes.
WBCs also, our WBCs have this property of phagocytosis. Okay, they digest the foreign bodies by engulfing. Okay, engulf कैसे करेगा? Engulf करना मतलब निगलना. Okay, so the whole cell membrane will form that what? What it will form? A cup-like structure by its invagination. By the in अंदर की तरफ वो depression जो बन रहा है children, that only you call it as invagination. Is it very clear to you all, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Membrane transport is over. I have discussed everything, children. What is now I'm just revising. What all terms you should remember. Okay, crenation. One term everyone should know, crenation. Second term, plasmolysis. Okay, then next term, hemolysis. Is it clear? Now, what is crenation? What is plasmolysis? And what is hemolysis? Can anyone tell? I have not used crenation word, but plasmolysis I have explained. Plasmolysis is seen in which cell? Jaldi se bata do, I will write here then.
Plant cell.
Plant cell. Okay,
In
occurs
the
in
cell wall.
cell wall थोड़ी, occurs in plant cell. ठीक है. अब when it will occur? My next question, when it will occur?
Ma'am, when shrinkage of plasma membrane occur.
Okay, so when that shrinkage will be there?
Ma'am, when a living part of cell loses water through osmosis, there is a
Okay,
shrinkage of the
right. When it
protoplasm
will lose water? When it
and
will
of,
lose water? Huh?
yes, ma'am.
When it will lose water? Many times it will not lose water. What will be when it will lose water? What is the condition needed for that?
Ma'am, it is placed in hypotonic solution, ma'am.
Hypo.
And when it is excessive.
Sorry, ma'am, hypertonic, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, hypertonic. Sorry.
Hypertonic. So write it. When placed in hypertonic. Or you should say, if it is a system, living system, तो हम ऐसा placed in नहीं बोलेंगे. When the outside solution is hypertonic. What you say, children?
When the outside solution is hypertonic.
Hypertonic. Is it clear? So which osmosis will occur?
Endoosmosis.
And
Exosmosis.
Osmosis.
Yeah, exosmosis. No confusion should be there, children. Exosmosis occurs. Everyone noting the things?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What is crenation, children? So crenation word is coming from the star shaped, children. Okay. So the animal cell when lose water. Okay, so I'm writing animal cell loses water. Loses water कैसे? So I should say water moves out. Okay. Which osmosis? Direct tell me. Which osmosis if it is what is going out?
Ma'am,
Exosmosis.
Exocytosis.
Osmosis. In animal cell, exosmosis occurs. So when the exosmosis will occur, children, so you will find that whole cell membrane will shrink. And that phenomenon is known as, what is that phenomenon called? अभी लिखा क्या हमने? Cell will shrink. Okay, and this process is only known as crenation, children. जब सेल shrink होके वो पूरा ऐसा star shape बन जाएगा, तो you call it as, what it is known as?
Creation.
Crenation. Okay, so this crenation will be seen only in animal cell, children. Okay, plant cell की तो cell wall रहती है, तो उसका shape नहीं बदलता. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now hemolysis, children. So hemolysis will be seen in blood cells. Heme word is coming from
Hemoglobin.
hemoglobin. And you know very well, hemoglobin is present in the,
Red blood cells.
okay, so blood cells now. Remember,
it is the
blood,
destruction of red blood cell.
right, lysis meaning breakdown. Lysis meaning breakdown. तो blood cells ये lysis कब होगा? Blood cells टूटेंगे कब? When they'll burst? Tell me.
When animal cell is put down in hypotonic solution,
Hypotonic solution. Very good. So which osmosis will occur?
endosmosis.
Endoosmosis.
Very good. So endosmosis will occur. Okay. When outside solution is
hypotonic.
Hypotonic. Is it very clear, children? So this way the
Yes,
question we asked, children, from this topic, membrane transport. It's very important topic. Okay, you should know, because the whole transport in your body is occurring by the diffusion process, by the
Osmosis.
osmosis process, cytosis. Is it very clear? In your tissues, we will be doing ahead the tissue chapter. In areolar tissues, we have the special cells which we call it as the macrophages. They show this phagocytosis. Okay, your blood cells, the WBCs, they show which cytosis? Phagocytosis. And that is how they are destroying the foreign bodies, which may be harmful to the body. Is it clear to everyone, this whole thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
With the cell organelles. We are starting with the cell organelles. Okay, you can write down the subheading, cell organelles.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now first of all, we'll pick up a very important structure of the cell, that is the nucleus. Is it clear? So nucleus, now we, what is the location of the nucleus? Can anyone tell? Location of
Ma'am.
nucleus?
Ma'am, in the cell, in the center of the cell.
Set.
So write down. Generally present. We have to add generally, children. Okay, because plant cell, when you see, so you find in the plant cell a big vacuole is there. In that case, the nucleus is shifted to the
In center of the cell.
no. If the whole cell sides, it is going to the corner. Okay, it goes to one side or one corner of the cell. So
Side.
that, but otherwise, you find most of the cells will have the nucleus where
At the center.
In the center of the cell.
In the center of the cell.
In the center of the cell. Now tell me the number. How many nuclei do you find in a cell?
Ma'am, only one.
Only one. So generally one. What will write down? Generally one. Is it clear? Some cells you find more than one nuclei also present, and you call it as the dikaryotic stage. What you call it as? Dikaryotic. Is it clear? And some you find the protoplasm is having many nuclei. We call it as multinucleated. What you call it? So this way some terms are there.
Multinucleated.
Uninucleated. What are the terms used? Uninucleated, then binucleated, and multinucleated.
And multinucleated.
All have understood the term?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Now uninucleated, all your body cells are uninucleated. Is it clear? Binucleated, in fungi you find sometimes the cell will have two nuclei during fusion of the two cells. So binucleated stage. Okay, and multinucleated, you can write down the example. I'm writing the example for multinucleated here in the bracket. Plasmodium. So plasmodium of, it's not that plasmodium which causes your malaria. Okay, it is this plasmodium is a type of fungi.
Malaria.
No, it is not that, children. It is coming in the myxomycetes. अब इतना डिटेल भी जाने से कोई मतलब नहीं है. Okay, or you can write down, that will be easy for your, that is fungi. What you write down, children? Don't write myxomycetes. You write down fungi.
Protozoa.
नहीं, प्रोटोजोआ नहीं. प्रोटोजोआ ये प्लाज्मोडियम जो मलेरिया कॉज करता है. Is it clear? That is a different thing. You try to understand protoplasm. यहाँ पर हम बता रहे हैं कि एक प्रोटोप्लाज्म sometimes, अच्छा tell me, हाँ ये सबने देखा होगा. Rainy season में you have ever noticed some slimy substance on the leaves, या कोई tree trunk पड़ा हुआ है तो उसके ऊपर ना कुछ slimy substance दिखता है. Slimy
Yes, ma'am.
jelly like. Ever you have observed? जब बहुत रेन होता है सब जगह एकदम गीला गीला हो जाता है, यू फाइंड ऑन सम वुडन लॉग्स, कुछ पेड़ों के ऊपर कई बार अपन को ना जेली जैसा सब्सटेंस दिखता है. ओके, दैट जेली लाइक सब्सटेंस, चिल्ड्रन, दैट इज अ प्रोटोप्लाज्म. दैट इज अ
Protoplasm.
प्रोटोप्लाज्म में बहुत सारे न्यूक्लियस रहेंगे. So that is multinucleated condition. Okay, so that mass of the protoplasm, children, it is known as, you write down this only, so that will be clear to you. Mass of protoplasm, that is only known as plasmodium. That is known as, so they are lower organisms, children. It is a lower organism. और उसमें सेल मेम्ब्रेन ऐसा है कि वो सब जगह पूरे में फैलता चला जाता है. जहां जहां उसको ऑर्गेनिक मैटर मिलेगा वो जेली लाइक सब्सटेंस है, इट विल कीप ऑन मूविंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर, कंज्यूमिंग दैट. Is it clear? So it is a multinucleated. Now we come to the next one. After the location.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, say.
Ma'am, can nucleus be divided?
Yeah, nucleus divides. When nucleus divides, then only do we find the cell will divide into two, or the during reproduction, the nuclear division occurs. During reproduction, nuclear division will occur, and you find the genetic material will be split up into two, and one of the matter, one of the genetic material, one part of it will be transferred to the two daughter cells. So nuclear division is involved in cell division, okay, which is important for the reproduction process. Done, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Everyone has written,
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
everyone has written the nucleus location, then number. Now you find in some cells Nucleus is not present. So remember the term is enucleated. Is it clear? Meaning no nucleus. What is the meaning of it? No nucleus. Do you know in our body one cell is there which does not have nucleus? Anyone knows? Which cells of our body do not have nucleus?
White blood cells.
White blood cells. No, they have to variously shaped nucleus. And on the base of that nucleus, the WBCs are classified. But you are near that it is a blood only. Now you can tell. Which cells of the blood?
cells.
Red blood
Ma'am,
cells.
platelet.
Okay. No, not the platelets. RBC. Okay, RBCs do not have the nucleus, children. Is it clear? They are disc shaped, biconcave, and they don't have the nucleus. Okay, platelets will have the nucleus. So I hope everyone has understood this much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
These two children, the time is up. So we'll end up the class. The nucleus further structure, na? Or you can just write down components. But jaldi se structural components लिख लो. Okay, structural components. And what are those components? So number one will be the nuclear membrane. Keep numbering. Okay, सबसे बाहर covering को क्या बोलते हैं? What is it called, children?
Nuclear membrane.
AGM membrane.
Nuclear membrane.
Nucleolus.
Inside the nuclear membrane, what will be present? The fluid is there. That fluid is
Nucleoplasm.
called nucleoplasm. Very good. Nucleoplasm. Okay, then in the nucleoplasm,
Nucleolus.
in the nucleolus is there. Apart from that, the threads are there. What are those threads called?
Chromosomes.
Chromosomes.
Chromatin. क्रोमोसोम पे जब रॉड शेप होंगे तब बोलते हैं
Chromatin.
अपन. हाँ, it is known as the
Ma'am,
chromatin.
genetic material.
Chromatin is a genetic material. Is it clear? That is, they are in the form of the threads. So you call it as chromatin threads. You can write down for your understanding. They are thread-like. So chromatin threads, and those threads they form a network. Okay, a mesh is there. So you call it as chromatin network, children. Okay, and then the next what you were saying, that spherical structure, what is it?
Nucleolus.
Nucleolus. So how many components we will be discussing in the structure of the nucleus?
4 components.
4 components. So
Four.
these are the 4 structural components. What you call them? Structural components. Is it clear? So about each, the electron microscopic structure we will be discussing in the next class, children. So I'm stopping the sharing. All have noted this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have stopped the sharing.
Ma'am, questions.
Question. So write down. The last question was write the differences between diffusion and osmosis, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now write down. My next question will be, what do you mean by cytosis? Explain its types. What do you mean by cytosis? Explain its types. You'll be able to do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
Next question. Define the following terms. Define the following terms. Number 1, crenation. Number 2, hemodialysis. Hemodialysis. No, you write down hemolysis, okay, not the dialysis. Hemolysis. Hemolysis. Lysis. Hemolysis. Written everyone?
Ma'am, what was the first one?
First one will be the, anyone can you say?
Cremation.
Ma'am, crenation.
Crenation, yeah. Crenation. And second one will be hemolysis. Hemolysis. Written? Acha, plasmolysis I have given already before.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So
No, ma'am.
then plasmolysis, write down then. Plasmolysis. And I will be sending the figure of plasmolysis, children, where you will write down this definition of plasmolysis. Now on the opposite page on the drawing side, you draw the diagram. Is it clear? And did I give the question, write the differences between prokaryotic, eukaryotic?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you draw the diagram on the opposite side where you have written this answer, one bacterial cell and one plant cell or animal cell, any you can make. Did you draw the diagram in the fair notebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Okay. And did I give the question, write the differences between plant cell, animal cell?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there, yeah, I want you to draw the animal cell also. अगर आपने पहले plant cell बनाया है तो then animal cell बना लेना. अगर animal cell उधर bacteria के साथ दिखाया है तो then you make the other one. Is it clear?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now
Yes, ma'am.
next question. Name the structural components of nucleus. Name the structural components of nucleus. So that's all for today, children.
Ma'am, can you repeat the last question?